Hi, I'm Brian Cummins and you're watching Live Prog.
The phrase Eureka means I found it. And this phrase was, it comes from Archimedes, an ancient mathematician or very wise man, because he discovered some formula and he ran across the streets completely naked when he shouted that. Now nowadays we don't use that word anymore. We have different ways of saying, but it was interesting that we have an album by a band or a project called Eureka. And obviously the man behind this project, Frank Bossert, probably didn't run naked through the streets shouting Eureka. Nevertheless, this was his way of saying, I found it. This is my music, this is the way I express it. And he has been doing so for quite some time, I must say, and I was really surprised of that, because a couple of years back I heard from the band project Eureka by the album Shackleton's Voyage. Unfortunately I never got to hear the album, but I heard that some known names were playing some guest roles on the album, like Billy Sherwood from Yes, and of course Yogi Lang from RPWL. And now I have my first Eureka album, and now I have found it too, and I'll bring it a little closer. There you go, that's the one. Now, as you can see by the cover, it is a best-of album. It's called Silverware, and what I noticed are the numbers on the year, because Frank Bossert has been doing this for, since 1997, so it's 2011, so about 14 years. Well, this album was released late 2010, so 13 years of music history is captured on this CD. And I gotta say, I was intrigued by it. Now, there's a lot of beautiful music to be found on this album, and of course it's a best of. And what I found interesting is that he works backwards, because he starts with a brand new tune, really fresh, and then he works his way through his catalog back to the very first Eureka album, which was released in 1997. Now, let's bring on a beautiful piece of work, and I picked out a couple of songs that I hope that might give you an impression of what kind of music Frank Bossert Eureka makes. This is something that really touched me. This song is called Will You Ever Return?
That I saw your smile so long ago, that I fooled around with you, all the tears that I've cried for you, all the prayers that I've sent, all the love that I feel cannot bring you back home, all the fears that I've passed, all the darkness around cannot give me an answer now. Will you ever return?
Although I call Eureka a project, they do perform live. They have a live band lineup, so very interesting. And I've never seen them, but it would be a very fascinating thing to see live, because they make really beautiful music. Frank Bossert really knows how to write beautiful songs, and although this again does not exactly ring the bell of prog, it has a lot of influences. When I put the CD in my player, it recognized it as New Age music, and it has New Age elements, it has a lot of things in it. And well, I'm just gonna take out the booklet here, because that way, well, I can show you. Here you go. You can see some live photos as well of the music. Now, here we are. With the album there are lyrics, and there's a little story of what's behind it. And of course it's a collection of songs, so in this case we're not talking about a theme. Now, the female vocals you heard, those were something that Frank found so beautiful that he wanted them on the album, and he managed to get them on the album Shackleton's Voyage. As I said, he has a lot of different styles, because well, another song I definitely want to let you hear is one that, well, just for the title it was interesting. Sol y Sombra, it sounds Spanish to me, which is well, a very beautiful song, but with a little different taste. And if I read it from the book here, Frank calls himself, he says, a Celtic flamenco fusion featuring all the members of Eureka live band at the time. And there's one instrument all the members do, and that's the clapping. So, well, have a listen for yourself. I think you get the picture here. It's so really, well, I find it really beautiful to listen to. I mean, let's forget the whole labeling thing. We're talking beautiful music here, and that's what counts. And well, as far as beautiful music goes, I had a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment listening to Silverware. You know, Silverware reminds you of forks and knives, you know, the really beautiful ones. Well, this is a beautiful collection, and well, here you have a bit of the illustration how he got the name. The transition from vinyl, LP, to CD, a silver disc. Well, again, Silverware. Okay, let's move on to a bit more music, because, well, that's what a video review was all about. And I picked out another interesting album a little bit up in the catalog. Again, these well, strange land influences, the Arabian Nights influences. This one is called Arabesque, so, well, you get the picture. But very interesting comment he mentions here. He's speaking here of belly dance Prague. Now, that is something I would like to see one day. But listen for yourself. I didn't say anything about the opening song, which was also from Shackleton's Voyage, and that one was called, I'm going to look it up for you, the one was called Departure, which was a beautiful track with, again, a very familiar name on it. Troy Donockley, of course, we know him from Mostly Autumn, also from Iona. He played Julian pipes on that track, and it's really beautiful. And that track was also from Shackleton's Voyage. Interestingly enough, that album is well represented with several tracks here, because of course it's, well, probably the most known album of Eureka. It got a lot of attention, of course, but nevertheless, if you listen to Silverware, you listen to the back catalog, the older material, and you hear it is just as beautiful. Now, you heard a couple of other songs as well, and well, I can't play all of them, of course, but they are very beautiful. And I'm going to leave you with a track from the first, I was saying the last, but it's the first album, it's the last track of the album, but from the first Eureka album from 1997. This one is called Into the Blue, which is a really beautiful song. Now, I hope that this little review and the few songs you heard gave you an interest in Eureka, and definitely worth checking out the back catalogue of Frank Bossert, because, well, the music is, well, can only be described as beautiful. You know, it may not be prog as we know it, but, well, don't let that hold you from listening to this music. So, enjoy Eureka. I found it. I hope you will find it as well. And thank you for watching, and see you at another video review.